On the 30th of March 2020, when the Prime Minister announced the national shutdown, none of us knew then, not even the Prime Minister, how long it would last. 1 year later, the effects on the entertainment industry has been devastating. Big Rich is one of the biggest chutney producers in Trinidad and Tobago, and he says artists, especially the smaller ones, have been suffering.
Well, with artists, usually they would produce like 3, 4 songs each, 2 songs. This year, 1. Everybody did 1 song each. That's how the COVID affected it. And of course, I gave all my artists a discount. So yes, it did. It did affect me financially, money-wise. It did. Yeah. Opposed to having 3, 4 songs done by an artist, they all did 1 song each.
The lesson on the soca side is very similar. Cohen Dubois is a prolific singer, producer, and songwriter, and he says 60% of his revenue comes from performing. He says the lesson of the COVID-19 pandemic for artists is that they should invest in streaming.
The royalties, even us off for a minute, but this too is run dry. I mean, when you sip every minute, the cup is getting empty. And I mean, it's hard. I'm not gonna lie. It is hard. But the one thing I miss the most is not about making the money. It's just about the joy of the people. Just to be with people that appreciate a good time, who love soca music, who love that energy that we bring. Just to be around them and their presence really is uplifting to me.
Cohen, you have been very active on Instagram during the pandemic. I think you've had 1 or 2 viral stories, so Instagram lives and stuff like that. And 2, recently, Spotify has finally licensed for Trinidad and Tobago. Talk to me about what are the lessons for soca artists during this pandemic? Maybe what are some of the digital lessons for soca artists during this pandemic? What have you
we definitely need to focus on building streams. Definitely, streaming is everything. That right now that could be the only source of income until we're able to jump up on a stage again.
In late 2020, when news came that Carnival 2021 had been cancelled, many people were dismayed, but probably not that surprised. Initially, there was lots of talk of a so-called digital carnival, but that really panned out. But promoters did try to innovate. School fests are an essential part of our carnival, and many school committees, from Fatima, from Holy Name, to Trinity College and Presentation, all had different versions of the so-called virtual fete, all with varying degrees of success, but most promoters opted not to have anything.
It has been, I can't even say challenging. It has been a very difficult year for our membership. In terms of a lot of our members had to close down their businesses because as a promoter, we are event creators, and the first element of an event is a live audience. So without having a live audience, it is difficult to put on an event. So we have members who have closed down their businesses. We have members who have sold out their equipment, their chairs, their tents, the trust in some of these things just to be able to survive. Because a lot of people see the event industry or the party industry or the entertainment industry as a fun time, but they don't realize how many people are employed by the industry. And from our calculations, is over 100,000 people are affected in the entertainment industry.
So what were the lessons learned from the last year, and what is the way forward for the industry?
We have put on numerous concerts as an association. A lot of our membership put on all of these virtual concerts, which was so great in terms of keeping the culture alive. But I will be honest with you, that is difficult to make a profit from and to generate an income from. We don't have the structure in place as yet. So moving forward, what we can do is to encourage the banks to partner with us so that we could get more credit cards or even these debit cards where you have a credit card number so people could pay to view the stuff online. And then we would have to have a snowball effect from there. But it is difficult, and what we have done and learned in the past years is that we could put on these concerts, people will view it, and the money would be generated from corporate Trinidad and Tobago in terms of sponsorship.